Hello viewers, I am headed to Mahabalipuram from Chennai. It is about 45 minutes from the city, and we're going on the highway as usual to this place which are stone structures and a cave, etc., which we're gonna look at and find out what's it about. It's a very famous landmark of Chennai and we wish to look at it. Thank you.
गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः
Mahabalipuram structures, they were built by the Pallava Dynasty way back in 7th to the 8th century. One would have thought that it was developed and carved out of some kind of mountains or hills, because the stone structure is quite heavy, and this must be the technology which was used all over in some of the stone temples in India, going right up to Angkor Wat or even Borobudur, as far as Cambodia. We're not sure how it happened, but they had the technology of cutting out and carving out the stone structures and from the mountains, and building the temples.
Krishna holding the mountain.
So this one, as you see over here in front, as I'm going to show you now, is the Krishna Mandapa, which is the number 1 part of Mahabalipuram. And you can see here, as I show you, that the structure is really nice and you can observe everything here.
The roof and pillar is 300 years old. The inside for the sculpture is 1400 years old.
So it's 1400 years old for the inside structure, which we can now quickly walk up and have a look at as we go in. And that's what it's about, as you can see, and the guide is explaining me along as well.
Krishna is holding the mountain. The mountain downside, all the village people.
Krishna is holding the mountain as seen here, and yeah, go on. And
the mountain downside, all the village life, like a village people.
And below the mountain is the village life, as Mr. Stalin is telling me. And as we go along here, please tell sir further. What is this here?
So this is the catch for the milkman.
The milkman is here.
The music, the flute, the village man, the
baby dancing.
The baby is doing for the milk.
Milk.
She holding for the lunch box.
Lunchbox.
It's all village life.
It's all depicting the village life in this place, which is also known as Mahabalipuram, basically.
Natural rock is granite, very hard.
And it's all granite hard rock, which was done 1400 years ago. Look at the technology here. Look at how they managed to carve out something which has stood fine for 1400 years, while it was built in 8th century by the Pallavas, who were a dynasty in Tamil Nadu. What is amazing is how they managed to do all this work. I always maintain in my various videos, I have a gut feeling that these might be aliens. How did they have this technology? Look at the work. I don't think it's possible to do this today. But anyhow, this is what we want to show you, and what a pretty structure there is, while this was built in recent times. These structures were done later. So you can see the way it is. Amazing, really. Unbelievable how it's being done here. And we have over here the elephants, everything done
that's one more big elephant. It looks like a two big elephant.
So this is like basically two elephants as an outlook, as he's telling me, the guide is telling me. And you can see the shape there. There's really speaking an elephant on the other side and one on this side, but with the carvings on this side. And this is again quite intricate if you look at it, very intricate carving indeed. And for it to have survived 1400 years is in itself something of a mystery. How could it, I mean, Government of India buildings do not survive 50 years. They are dilapidated. Go to any government building in India. It's breaking, it's falling down. But they were the ones who built the real stuff and it lives for 1400 years. This is because they were honest, truthful, real people and they were not doing any mixing or cheating the public. This is the reason why you see these stones even surviving today. This is another structure here as you see, and over there. And what a beautiful garden over here.
These are all made by one rock, monolithic.
Is the monolithic rock as we say.
There is a temple inside for Ganesh,
And-
Ganesh Ratha.
And there is a Ganesh temple inside which is called the Ganesh Ratha. Ratha probably means the chariot. And let's see how it goes. And you can see now it's quite pretty, very nice indeed. Reasonably well maintained here.
Modi, 2019.
This one.
Second period Modi,
Ah.
Chinese president. And,
Oh, they were here also. Now this is the single piece rock which stands there precariously, probably awaiting to fall down, but it doesn't because of a given balancing being done on the other side. The weight is on the other side, and it's interesting to know that 1.5 to 2 years ago, Chinese Premier Xi Jinping and our Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, when they had a meeting, a summit in Tamil Nadu, and they had come here. And I guess it looks nice because it was maintained for the first time at that time. Normally Indians don't maintain their monuments or their structures or gardens. This is well maintained because the PM was here. That's the irony. You need a leading politician or a dignitary to come so that the place gets cleaned up. Now it's got cleaned up because they came. Now 2 years have passed and thereafter let's hope it remains the way it is. Regardless, this is quite impressive indeed. And I wouldn't be surprised how this is so. So this is another rock that we come into in Mahabalipuram, which is a completely a rock structure. And we enter here and let's see how it goes here. Now this is a pond, kind of a pond that was built all those time ago. We don't know the purpose or what was it, and it's only estimated they're probably some kind of a washing place, but never mind. And that's the structure we see there. All the structures there with the temple depictions.
the cave circle, there is a
Yeah.
center is new one. Local people they built one. Old one.
So it's a Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. All the three powers that are mentioned here and displayed as carved structures. Again done all those years ago. And it's quite amazing. I mean, look at the whole Indian Hindu faith, so as to say, which began with Vedas and all this. It was not just the northern people, but look at it in the south, right up to Chennai. The same culture and same ways have been practiced. That's the power of the religion, the people, all over India, which I'll be explaining to you in one of the other videos. This is a beautiful structure made again 1400 years ago. As you can see, there's no story, nothing about it, but just look at it, the intricacy. The elephant, if you notice, has been the pride of pride. It's a pride kind of a place. You know, whenever you see an elephant, the god Ganesha or otherwise, the elephant has always been revered in Indian history. And you'll find the peacock there. Do you notice the peacock? The peacock is there very much, which is the national bird of India. And of course the monkey god, as we say, which is Hanuman. He sits there as well with his tail intact for 1400 years. Just look at it. What a marvel of history. And that, I think, is a baby elephant being fed, as well as what we see elsewhere. I can't make out really, but look at it. We have been looking at all these beautiful structures here. It's quite a hot day. It's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's getting quite warm here, but I've been looking at all these places and explaining you the history and whatever was being done. Now that's what is the beauty of India, that you get so much of evidence of monuments, religion, culture, everything is documented. There's nothing like not knowing something. It's amazing. I mean, and this is what one can be proud of, you know. At least I am very proud of. Thank you. Recently made, but originally what was it, we don't know. This is the structure, and the priest has probably made a self-appointed temple for collection. That's what happens in India. A little temple, collection, and you make a living. So this is another temple called Varaha Cave, and as you see, there are a lot of depictions here. The first one being
Vishnu is the third incarnation.
Vishnu, the third incarnation. Varaha.
And his wife is Lakshmi there.
And wife being Lakshmi there.
Gajalakshmi.
Gajalakshmi.
And the other side is the Vishnu, the fifth incarnation, Vamana Avatar.
Vamana Avatar, who is Vishnu's fifth incarnation.
And the other side is Parvati.
And Parvati, who is Shiva's consort, is mentioned here also and depicted over here, the way it is over here, as you can see.
1400 years old, this cave is completely for vegetable colors, beautiful painting. But who washed the painting is nobody knows.
So earlier it was all in color, and nobody has an idea as to when it was washed or how come the color went away. So now it's left as a basic stone structure, the way it looks very naturally. And this is, and again, a marvel of display, and you can see the intricate wooden carvings and everything. What a pleasure to observe all this here at Mahabalipuram. So this is the view from the top of the little hill we have in Mahabalipuram. A nice view, and of course we have the ocean there, which is known as Bay of Bengal, which is the eastern part of India. That's the view over here.
Local temple, only one temple is a Vishnu temple.
And there is only one Vishnu temple over there, which is existing now.
Royal Gopuram.
This is called the Royal Gopuram, and this is an unfinished structure built in 17th century by part of the Vijaya Dynasty. So what you see in front is a lighthouse which was built by the British. It's around 200 years old, and it's existed till this day, and it's still functional, it seems, maybe run by the government to keep a watch on the seas. And this is the view over here, which is somewhat could be mistaken to be the ruins of Pompeii, but of course we are in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, nothing to do with Italy at the moment, but that's a fun part of it. The ruin, the pillars, they look like it as it used to be. Thank you so much.